I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on finances. Some of them more credible than other ones. And I have to say, it is very interesting to me that almost all of the videos trend toward, hey, here's things you can do to become financially successful. And they're almost always either very gimmicky or semi-scam like, or else they are geared toward people who earn already. They've got at least 60,000 a year coming in. They're making videos like, "Hey, how to invest your first 1,000." If you are super poor, you don't have a spare 1,000. A huge proportion of the United States population can't even handle a $400 emergency charge. So how in the world are they going to take 1,000 spare dollars and invest it? The statistics from the IRS were that 30%, only 30% of the US population has a Roth IRA, which is non-taxed money once you're retired that you can use in your retirement. It's a retirement account that anyone can have, but only 30% of Americans have it. It's like these people are suggesting that you can have less Starbucks coffees or have less, one less streaming service. That you can do these things so easily. I've seen videos where people are like, "Oh, hey, just go take this money and start a new bank account and they'll give you some money." Well, you have to have the money in the first place to be able to leave sitting there in that bank account for 3 to 6 months, while, you wait to be able to take it out again. You have to have some sort of spare income. I found it interesting that actual financial investors in like the stock market in New York, their number one suggestion for if you have $1,000 to invest is to invest it into your education. Invest it into some books, invest it into some learning, learn about finances. If you only have $1,000, one financial investor said it really well. If you only have $1,000, you can't afford to lose that. So you have to invest that in something that's guaranteed. And investing in yourself is always guaranteed. I think that's solid. If you have a job at, Target, you have a job at some factory for Amazon, if you have a job at McDonald's, if you have a job doing gig work and you are doing DoorDash and you're driving for Uber, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, okay? If you can save even $10, you can start an investment account. And you can start a Roth IRA, and you can start some sort of retirement account going. The younger you do it, the better. But you can be 50 and still start a retirement account. You can still get, a solid 15 to 20 years of your money growing before you start using it. And maybe it won't be enough to live off of. But a retirement account for someone who is truly poor is still something. Don't be so trapped in survival mode that you think, "Oh, you know what? I just have to hope Social Security exists by the time that I get old." Isn't likely, but that's what I've got to do. You can take matters into your own hands a little bit. You might only be able to invest enough in your retirement account that you end up with 10K when you start to go be in retirement age. But 10K is still more than you would have had. 10K is still something. You could use it for medical emergencies. You could use it to say, "You know what? I've got something set aside and I still got to work a little longer, but at least I have something where now that I'm getting a little older and I've got more medical bills, I've got more, costs for being accessible to things. I've got more struggles going on. I can afford something." It could be something as simple as, wow, my back hurts all the time. All the time. My retirement account, it only has $6,000 in it. That's all I could afford to put into my retirement account in my life, was enough that the growth turned into $6,000. It's a very small growth. It's sad. It's pitiful. But you know what that $6,000 can get you? A mattress to sleep on to help your back not hurt as bad. That $6,000 can still help you in your old age in some way, shape, or form. You might be struggling with balance issues. You could buy a cane. You could buy, like, you know, really nice, good shoes. And the shoes might be over $100 and you never spent that much on a shoe in your life because you're so poor. But now you have a retirement account, and that's what it's for, is for helping you get through your old age. Don't think, oh, well, since I can't have everything, why even bother? Something is better than nothing. And I see so much of this, like, oh, hey, I started from nothing and now I've got sports cars and I've got, you know, a $3 million house and blah, blah, blah. That's great. I'm glad for them if they were able to accomplish that, if they were actually able to start from nothing. A lot of them say they started from nothing, and it turns out they didn't actually start from nothing. Some of them really did, though. Some of them did. But they are pretty open about the fact that as much as, yes, they put hard work in, they also got really lucky. I mean, I've seen people, you know, go say, oh, become a drop shipper, or oh, go, you know, resell stuff on Amazon that you bought on, you know, something really cheap off of, you know, discount sites. You know, there's people who do make something at that, but there's such a massive amount of congestion of people trying to do that that the majority of people fail. People are like, oh, go start Etsy shops. Well, how many Etsy shops end up in failure versus how many that are successful? The majority of Etsy shops are dead within 4 months. And it's 20-cent fee for every single listing. If no one buys that at all, it was minimum 20 cents lost per listing. You list 50 items and you just lost money that you could have put into a Roth IRA and let grow. I'm not saying don't start an Etsy store. I'm not saying don't go dropship or something like that. If you're really inspired to do it, if you think you'll be the lucky one who it's successful for, absolutely, go work at it. Go try. Go do it. I'm just saying invest in yourself first. Invest in you and your future first. Because you are the most important person in your life. You don't have a life without you. You are the one who experiences your life. You are the one who lives with yourself 24/7. No one knows what you need, knows what, you know, your future needs might end up being as strongly as you do. You have the strongest inclination. Even when you feel like you can't trust yourself, even when you feel like you make poor choices or that you're stuck, the feeling of just being stuck, it can help you get out of it to just invest in yourself even a little. Even if you put $10 away into a retirement account, from that moment on, you can take a little pride in saying, I have a retirement account. You don't have to tell people how much is in there. You can at least say you have one. And you know what? Maybe it'll feel good to do something for your future self. You might not be able to have millions of dollars when you retire. You might not even be able to have $200,000 when you retire. You might be so poor and struggling so hard just to feed your kids and just to work through things that these people talking about investing, oh, here's what I would do with $5,000, you know, that's not applicable to you. But you can still invest in yourself, and you can still do something to help yourself, because anything is better than nothing. Helping yourself at all is still helpful, even if it's just a little bit. And if you start investing in yourself and making a habit of doing that, eventually invest in yourself enough, and you might just get to a point where you're not in constant non-stop survival mode. The biggest way to transform luck is to invest in yourself. these people who get lucky doing all of this stuff, part of why they got so lucky is because they believed in themselves enough to even attempt. Because they were so unscared of a mistake that it was okay to take that kind of a risk. You might be so poor and so strongly in survival mode that a risk of even $100 feels like huge, enormous. So do 10. Never invest more than it's okay to lose when it comes to business ventures and stuff like that. But investing in yourself is a guaranteed reward. It has a guaranteed result. Take some free online classes, watch some free YouTube videos, go read some free books, go sit in the library for a little bit and read. If you can't afford the freaking library card, then just go sit there and read for a little bit. That's free. Maybe you can't afford that much time away from your family. Go download a survey website thing like Inbox Dollars or Survey Junkie or Swagbucks. They pay crap, absolute crap. But while you're, sitting watching a show with your kids, you could be doing a survey or two and making maybe like $5, $10 a month doing surveys. But that's $5 or $10 you could put into a retirement account. That's $5 or $10 more than you had. Don't be so defeated that you just zone out and you just dissociate from your whole life. Your whole mental consciousness is just fogged over because life is hard. And sometimes it definitely is. And it can be so hard to be poor. There is nothing more expensive in the entire world than being someone who lives in poverty. But you can still invest in yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on being able to do something for yourself. You might not know exactly the best ways to go about things, but you can do it. It doesn't matter that you're poor. It doesn't matter. You might be watching this on your phone while you're living in your car. You can still invest in yourself because you matter. You matter.